The tugboat, for its size, is the most powerful craft afloat, and the star tugs are the power behind the docks and waterways that make up the big city port. This is Tugs. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a retro review of the ERTL Tugs, 10 Cents, and Sunshine. Now, for those that don't know, Tugs was a television series about a fleet of tugboats working in a place called Big City Port, which I believe was meant to depict a harbor in New York City during the 1920s. And the series ran from 1989 to 1990, and unfortunately ended after Television South, which would have been the television company that produced the series, filed for bankruptcy, which in turn led to Clearwater Features closing its doors in 1990, and because Tugs was only on its first season, it really didn't help matters and pretty much led to the series' demise. But that's enough about that. Let's take a look at these models. Alright, so here are the Tugs, and these were produced from 1989 to 1990, and sadly only 10 Cents and Sunshine were ever made. Now, there was rumor that ERTL did have plans to release the entire Starfleet, but at the same time I've heard other stories that supposedly prototypes of other characters existed, and supposedly Top Hat and OJ were announced, but you know, there's really no hard evidence to back up these claims, and that being the case, I'm just going to say that these are the only Tugs to exist and leave it at that. But onto these models I have. I bought both of these last year on eBay. 10 Cents came from the UK. I'm thinking Sunshine may have came from Australia. But when I bought these, they were both being sold as mint condition, which the Tugs themselves are definitely mint, but the cards have excessive wear and you can't really say they're pristine anymore. But back of the boxes are both the same. You can pause the video if you want to read any of that. But the fronts are the only differences. We can see this is 10 Cents card, picture of 10 Cents, 10 Cents right there. And yeah, you got that. And then with Sunshine's packaging, same deal. Sunshine's picture right there, the name, and again, same. So, I'm going to go ahead and get these out of package, and they have been pre-opened, so it's not like I'm opening up mint condition models here. One thing I wanted to mention about these models is that I don't feel they've ever been out of package, and if they were clearly only ever displayed, because if you look at the Tugs, they look pristine. They show no signs of play wear, but the card and packaging tell a different story. And I've found on both of these Tugs models when I got them that the glue seal around this blister here was bad. And I'm very familiar with this sort of thing, and I know that over time these glue seals can deteriorate due to either improper storage or the packaging just not being glued properly in factory, because I've actually seen modern day die-cast replicas that use this style of packaging, and they've been just opened in store, and you know, it's not that the card's been torn and they've been open, it's just like the glue seal's literally fallen apart. But yeah, so here are 10 Cents and Sunshine, and we'll go ahead and take a closer look at these now. Okay, we'll look at 10 Cents first here. And something I forgot is that part of what made me want to get my hands on these Tugs models is I remember in the early years of YouTube, I watched a review video by the YouTuber PokeLordX. He did a review on these ERTL Tugs models, and I just remember after watching his review, I wanted to get my hands on these, and sadly he's actually removed the video for personal reasons, but his channel's still up, although he doesn't seem to be active as much these days. I would assume he probably has obligations in real life that he's caught up with. Doesn't have time for YouTube, which is understandable. You know, everyone's got a life outside of the internet. But we'll look at Sunshine here as well. And yeah, like I said, I just really wanted to get my hands on these. And I don't remember having these as a kid, and I'm not even sure they were available to the US market, because anytime I've seen these for sale online, it's always item location somewhere in the UK or overseas. I'm yet to see an American listing. But even if these were available in the US in stores, you know, that would have been 1989, 1990, a few years before my time. So would not have been able to find these. But we're going to go back to 10 cents here and take a closer look at the details. And you know, we can see here the colors look pretty good, but we got 10 cents there on the side, also back here on the stern. Got little details on the front of the boat in the back here. Also got, you know, the lifeboat right there. These black things, I think I know what they are, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to sound dumb if I'm wrong. Got the chimney or the smokestack, whatever, and you do have the star logo there and Sunshine's number. Got details around the cabin area, and these heads do turn. You can see there. So that's pretty cool. Nice to see they added that feature to these. Yeah, and 10 cents is dated copyright 1989. I don't know if you can read any of that or not. Has ERTL under there. And bring in Sunshine here. And you can see again, we got Sunshine's name right there, as well as on the back. About the same detail as 10 cents, maybe a little less. Sunshine is a smaller switcher tug. Again, you got the star logo on the chimney and number 7, because you know that's Sunshine's number. And the head again does turn. And when we look on the bottom here, which is probably going to be pretty hard to read, I don't know if you can see all that, but Sunshine, there's no copyright date on him. And that being the case, I would assume that this Sunshine was made in 1990, because the 1990 models did not have dates underneath them. So overall, I think these Tugs models look pretty nice. The only nitpicking issues I would have with them would probably be, first off, I feel like maybe the faces aren't entirely accurate. But then again, that might just be my personal preference. Second, I feel like the colors are somewhat off, like 10 cents hat here and even Sunshine's. I feel like maybe those should be a darker shade of red and blue. And probably the last thing would be Sunshine's scaling. I feel like maybe he should be a little bit smaller. In terms of length, he is a tad shorter than 10 cents, but size-wise, just he looks too big in my opinion. Maybe a little bit smaller, but I don't know. ERTL, in their other ranges, scaling wasn't always a strong point for them. And I don't know, those couple issues, I don't really think they take away from the overall appeal of these models. They still look pretty good, I think. So that's going to conclude my review on the ERTL Tugs 10 cents and Sunshine. And I gotta say, it's just a shame that ERTL didn't make any more characters for this range than they did. Especially when you consider there were some manufacturers out there releasing Tugs merchandise years after the series was canceled in 1990. So it's just a shame ERTL couldn't do the same thing and at least try to get the rest of the Starfleet made. But at the same time, you know, probably should be thankful for what we do have, being these two models right here. So, final thoughts. Would I recommend these models? Well, if you're a Tugs fan, absolutely. You know, these are really nice models, pretty detailed for what they are. What negatives they have don't outweigh the positives, and they're just a nice piece of nostalgia, a tribute to a series that, you know, could have been more than what it was, but unfortunately just ended too soon. And I highly recommend getting these if you're interested in them, although if you want them, you are probably going to have to shell out some cash, because at the time of making this video, and even what I've seen over the course of how many years before I got mine, it's kind of ridiculous what some people want you to pay for these. There's some people selling a tug that's been knocked around. It's got paint chips. It's missing decals. Some parts may be broken off. And they want you to pay upwards of almost $40, $50 for that. And I'll say this much, if you want a tug in like mint condition, good card and everything, well, right there, be willing to pay upwards of $100, if not more. In fact, last year there, I was looking on eBay, actually came across a Sunshine mint in the package, good card and everything, and somebody was actually, you know, charging $300 some at a buy it now, or, you know, you could send in an offer. But it's just ridiculous, you know. And I can understand, yes, maybe these models are rare. Maybe they're becoming harder to find. I'm sure they're becoming harder to find, actually. But it's like, you know, there is a bit of price gouging going on, especially for used models. And so, yeah, you know, and especially if you're someone like me that lives in the U.S. and you're having to buy overseas, you might as well, whatever you pay for something, go ahead and tack on another $20, $30 onto that for shipping, because, you know, that's what you pay. Now, these ones here I scored for about $50 a piece, and, you know, again, I paid about $20, $30 to get them over here. But I did my homework, and in reality, it depends on what you want. You know, if you want a mint condition model and you're not really too concerned about the box, you could probably do what I did. You know, snatch them up for a reasonable price. But, yeah, that's just something to take into consideration if you want to add these to your diecast collection. But, anyways, that's going to be it for this Tugs review. It's sort of an insight into another review series I'm going to be doing here. And I'm not going to mention what it is, but I'll give you guys a little clue. But, yeah, so that's going to be it for this review. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on these Tugs models. And see you in another video. Take care.